I'm gonna leave that alone because my gas is $6. So you know, bump everything else, and then you want to say you don't know why the gas is high. Okay, why don't you just take that bill that you signed and just reverse it?
It's more than that. He can't, because it would be against his party's movement. Like, one of the reasons, aside from the war, right, which is one of the reasons, but it's not the reason. So if you're a person in that field, you can see it coming down the pipeline. No pun intended. That this administration, at least, is moving towards clean energy production. There's two problems with that, but I guess that's outside of the field. So it's not just a war. The gas prices were going to go up no matter what, because for the last, well, over 10 years, America has been the number one producer in oil, and now we're like number four, purposely. And so we took ourselves out of the top position for a clean energy agenda. He can't go back on that, because the people, so when you get elected president, it's not just necessarily people voting. There's other people, there's other politicians that had your back, right? That sponsored you, that lifted you up in a way, that told their people in their cities and their states to vote for this person. Those people are already on the clean bill agenda. So if he goes back on it, then he loses some of those people. Like, some of them. He's gonna lose Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. He's gonna lose AOC. He's gonna lose basically the whole squad. He might get dropped by Pelosi. And if something happens, they're not gonna have his back. And he can't really afford to make enemies in his own party, so he has to take this hit by himself.
No, I understand all of that, and I'm with clean energy if they make it affordable for people.
Well, clean energy is kind of impossible right now.
I
Not
agree.
saying that it won't be in the future, but like, one of the facts about clean energy, like, even like, electricity, 85% of electricity is produced by oil, fossil fuel, and nuclear energy. So, like, it's like people think electricity just comes out of nowhere, but even electricity that we use in this country is produced by oil, fossil fuel, or crude. Let's just call it all fossil fuel.
Mhm.
So you can't, even to produce clean energy, you need fossil fuel. Solar energy isn't efficient enough. We don't have batteries that with capacity, or we just don't have that technology. It doesn't exist. Like the wind turbines, we don't have that technology either. For wind turbines to produce the same amount of energy that fossil fuel does, we would have to cover the state of California in wind turbines, the equivalent of the state of California.
So basically, the
And we're
United
not about
States,
to do that. We can't
they
afford
want,
to do it, and we're not about to do it.
so the United States wants to renege on something they did renege a while back when cars were first invented, because one of the first few cars were electric, but because they weren't loud enough or aggressive enough, and they wouldn't be able to get the people's attention to be sold, then that's when the popular V8s, 12s, 6s, etc., the muscle cars, all that good stuff was implemented and created. And then here it is, whatever years later. Now, oh, well, we want to renege on that and go back. But then how are you going to do that? And then you want to charge more. I don't think people have a problem with getting a hybrid because a lot of hybrids run great.
Well,
I think the problem,
it's because the administration is stupid. They wanted to do something and they didn't have a plan to do it. It's like they made up an idea and then they started moving towards it without thinking, is this idea possible? And if they would have thought about that for like 5 minutes before they said they were going to do it, and then like all like, we had the dumbest governor. I'm gonna stop talking about governors. We had the dumbest governor in the country, because
so
he
so
initiated a plan to stop selling gas cars in the next 8 years. So I'm like, what I'm saying is, all of this technology that's supposed to exist before these things happen doesn't exist, and so they're doing it. It's like they just thought of a utopian, perfect thing. It was like, yay, we're moving towards clean energy, and like, it's not. It's
How
not
do
a real
they
thing.
implement clean energy when they can't even give clean running water to children in school?
I don't know.
Something that simple. Like that's like my mom doesn't want me to dibble on politics at all about certain things, and I don't want to go there neither. But it's like, I read an article about that when they were making the stadium over there in Inglewood, and then everybody's raving about, oh, we're getting a football team, but then LA County schools are children are drinking dirty water. You want
Mhm.
clean energy, but then you can't clean the streets. You guys can't even clean your act, but you want clean energy. Like, I'm gonna focus this on the word clean. Like, y'all want this, but everywhere down the board is dirty. Like, it makes no sense.
It's just messaging. Like, it's something that sounds good that doesn't have any real world implications, and
And
so they
that's
could just say it, and everybody's like, yeah. But then,
so what grandma used to say, don't put the carriage in front of the horse.
exactly. Grandma's still smart.